Holy cow, the delay on the streaming software versus YouTube is pretty bad. So I don't know where this is going to start off, whether you saw me sit down in my chair or not, or saw me right as I started talking. But all right, welcome back to the Cosas Verde show. We're going to cover Bitcoin, then Ethereum. All right, I've had some recent complaints that I'm not covering Ethereum as much as when the merge was yet to be finalized. So I'll try to keep myself at 10 to 12 minutes on Bitcoin. And then 10 or 8 to 10 minutes on Ethereum to leave more than half the time for the live chat. And for anybody newer to the streams, if you're asking questions, I typically cover Bitcoin and Ethereum first. And then the questions that I see with people with an emblem next to their username or their ID, whatever it's called, I answer those questions first and I skip over non-community members without the emblem next to their name. So, with no further ado, I am going to flip to the Bitcoin chart. And I'm going to use the 15 minute with this with only two EMAs, the two that are in play right now. So, from my yesterday video, I gave an example of what Bitcoin would do, specifically hitting the daily 10 EMA if my main idea were wrong. So I gave two scenarios, and the one that I didn't favor did play out, and it's playing out almost to the T right now. However, the way it got there, in specific regard to its with the S&P 500 and Nasdaq, the way it got there was interesting, and it's going to change my analysis a little bit. And I'm going to show you what that is by the end of this segment of the live show or the recording of this video. But the hint of what I'm going to get at by the end of this video is Bitcoin is in a 34-day, roughly continuous uptrend versus the stock market. And the general implications of that is that if the stock market squeaks out non-aggressive lower lows or it looks bearish but goes sideways, that means crypto can keep going up as long as that secret chart that I made. So I made a chart that shows Bitcoin's power versus the stock market. As long as that maintains an uptrend and the stock market doesn't make aggressive new local lows, crypto can keep creeping up. And it really could. And so I'm going to show you some examples of what that might look like on price, and then we'll move on to Ethereum. So let's go get this Bitcoin. All right. In my yesterday's video, I almost drew this out almost exactly. I think the first pump I had it come up to the daily 10 EMA, then come down, but here it was the second try, but whatever. Pretty close stuff. So I don't think there are any surprises there. But here is what I wanted to show you. The implications of what I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you the what first, and then I'll do the why. The what is, it looks like Bitcoin has an increased chance now to hold above this box here, which is a monthly box. There are two monthly wicks previous to this month that come here. It looks like it has a strong chance of holding this, or if I take it off and zoom out, Bitcoin has a strong chance of holding onto or staying above that middle orange and black box, which is the point of control of what I call a micro range, which is now about 57 days young. All right, so it's a micro range. Anything under like 90 days is a micro range. And so that's the what. It has a better, so I'm not guaranteeing, and I don't even know if it's my favorite scenario yet. I simply want you to be aware that I generally am bearish. I think prices will go lower. But when I show you the why, it'll come full circle. But it looks like Bitcoin could go sideways and keep trying up a little bit through next Tuesday or Wednesday. And because not only did this happen, which I forecasted yesterday, which I said, hey, that starts increasing the chance that Bitcoin holds on until next week. So I covered that already. But something I didn't include in the analysis is if Bitcoin starts outperforming the market and this happens, that means it could be even a little bit better than just holding on. It really could. I don't think necessarily a big bull run or, big bull trap up to 22K, but it starts having some of those initial ingredients for that. And again, I'm not thinking 22K, bull trap is most probable by, I don't even know if it'd be in my top 3 right now. However, the ingredients are starting to formulate, and you need to stay aware of that. So in general, over the next 10 days, I think Bitcoin is going to, be in the low 18,000s or lower. All right, so new local lows, just generally kind of bearish. But I'm going to show you some things in the chart to watch out for. So check this out. The chart that I just kind of mathematically and with a quick form, it's a non-complex formula. It shows Bitcoin's performance versus the stock market. And you can see here that since, a long time ago, it's been in a general downtrend. So let's say since here for 145 days. So this is from this point of May of this year, 2022, to roughly, nowish or August last month. It was in a fairly compelling downtrend. It was able to gain an uptrend in this area. Let's zoom into that and see how long that was. So it got into an uptrend for 17 days, but now it's, double that time. It's in a general uptrend, and it's breaking above a horizontal with, even though it's not necessarily volume because no one's buying this isn't an asset, but it's getting through with some gusto. So it looks like it could, and so what this means is if the S&P 500 inches down, so nothing aggressive, right? Nothing like a 4% red day. So if the S&P 500 has a really red day and this chart keeps going up, Bitcoin still will probably have a red daily candle with this chart going up. Does that make sense? So this is just relative or versus the stock market. So if the stock market's really far down and this is just in a normal uptrend, Bitcoin will have a red day, but it'll go down a lot less than the stock market. So this isn't to say if this is an uptrend, Bitcoin keeps going up. Not necessarily, right? But it does mean if this goes up while Bitcoin has a red day, the next time the stock market takes a breather up for a correction to the upside before the bears take it back down again, that means Bitcoin's correction to the upside could be really big. The power versus the stock market it's pretty important here because if for example, let me show you the significance of this. So let's go to S&P 500. And again, Bitcoin follows the S&P 500. The correlation ebbs and flows, but in general, it's a very strong correlation. Now, if the US 500, let me go to a smaller chart like the hourly. If it just in general were to inch down. Here, let me zoom in even more. Because it's going to hit this blue line at some point, right? Probably very likely within the next 30 days. But if it inches down, baby bounce, and then takes a swoop under it and then baby bounce, well, if the S&P 500 does that and that chart that I just showed you is still going up, right? That means Bitcoin could be going sideways and building a base during this whole time here as the S&P unaggressively goes down. And then when the S&P 500 has a baby bounce or a dead cat bounce up, Bitcoin's bounce could be really big, like probably $2,000 to $5,000. Am I making sense there? But if the S&P 500 has these baby bounces as that other chart that I showed you is going down, well, then Bitcoin's correction to the upside would be very minimal. But right now, Bitcoin's in position to essentially form a base and hold on. If the stock market can just inch down instead of a massive sell-off, Bitcoin could get some work done. So it's going to be interesting over the next, really, a couple weeks. If there's not a large sell-off, let's say by the end of next week, if the stock market doesn't have an aggressive sell-off and that magic chart, Bitcoin versus the stock market, continues its uptrend, I think a larger bull trap up to 22, 23K, maybe slightly higher, would probably inch up into my top 3, most likely scenarios. But I don't think my trigger for putting that within my top 3 scenarios, I think I need to see all of next week develop. I don't think it can pop into it before then, unless of course shit just flies up. Well, then it becomes obvious. Shit, this is going higher, right? Unless that happens. So keep an eye out on that, because I'm generally pretty bearish, and a lot of people follow my channel. They try to do, click around based off of it, and I don't want I don't want my bias of bearishness to, I guess, guide you incorrectly, right? So I'm giving you a forewarning. There is something brewing in the charts where I could be totally wrong here. And that's what it is. And I'm explaining it just like yesterday in my video. If my main idea is wrong, here's what you will see. And here's what to put on your chart. I'm doing the same thing right now, trying to be as helpful as possible. And again, this is not my top 3 most probable scenario yet, but it is brewing. All right. Because that chart over there, it's fairly compelling right now. Crypto is doing well versus the stock market. So here's that chart right here again. I mean, this isn't looking bad. All right. And for my Discord and YouTube Cryptillion tiers, I gave you the formula to make that same chart as well. And you could just YouTube tier members, you could ask me in a comment section to repost it if you want it, so it's fresher up there. Or Discord members, just jump on a live call, ask me what it is, and we'll rock and roll from there. But if you're savvy with Tradingview, then you can obviously see how I did it just from looking at the video. Okay, so what will that look like on Bitcoin? If the stock market doesn't have an aggressive, if the stock market does not have an aggressive sell-off, I mean, this week, I think Bitcoin could easily take another swipe above the micro channel. And remember what that looks like zoomed out? It's the 57-day long deal, right? So see, a couple times, so yeah, like this. I don't think it's going to be this big, right? that was a big bull trap, but something to this effect. So let's measure up. I mean, so between about 3% above. So let's go back to the 15-minute chart, put on my EMAs. Let's say it does it sometime over here. I don't know. So 3% above. That's breaking 20K. It's 20,200. It could happen. And again, and a way to kind of alert yourself with that is the following. Just look at the S&P 500 futures, and if you do not see aggressive lows, right, on this, you could see new local lows, but as long as they're not aggressive, then what I'm about to show you, like what I just showed you, could easily play out. 20,200 could easily happen before next Tuesday. So I would say what I just showed you on the Bitcoin chart on that ascending range, I would say that's over the next 4 days. Yeah, through the weekend. And then a lot of times the stock market, even if it's going to sell off all week, a lot of times buyers really want to buy on Mondays, even though the stock market's going to be down. So that's why I like to say Tuesday a lot for bearish movements, because Monday, my read on the stock market is even if shit's bearish, people just want to come out swinging, buying. Like they just want green candles on Mondays. That's what I see a bunch. All right, so yeah, Bitcoin could easily get up there without the stock market going up by Tuesday. And if the stock market goes up and that chart is still bullish versus the stock market, well, then Bitcoin's going to get above that channel, use it as support, and then be heading. And then I'll make another YouTube video saying, shit, this $22,000 or slightly higher, I'll give you more targets, is in my top 3. Right now, it's not. All right. And the 20,200 target is a land in between, right? Just target up here. But I want you to know that, especially since I've been asking you to draw this channel, please, realize that this wicks above here happen. Okay, and it could go this high, even if Bitcoin price is relatively being guided or massaged or directed by this channel. This is in play within the channel rules. Okay, a 2% wick above a channel is perfectly normal. And again, the reason I'm trying to go over this, like the areas of my main idea of being bearish is wrong, is because I have been very bearish, and I don't want to guide you incorrect. I need you to be prepared for a wick up, or prepared for it just to turn around in our faces. All right. But overall, I am still pretty bearish, but I've been giving down targets so long, and you kind of know my thoughts already, that I don't think I have to go over this. So today on Bitcoin, I'm showing you if you're bearish, then then these are the things to be cautious about. If you're bullish, then what I'm saying right now, I don't know if I would take significant long plays off of this, because I would be fearful that the trend resumes down. Like a big sell-off on Friday could easily happen. But there's a lot of reasons, even though I'm showing you reasons why it could get short-term time frame bullish, you still have if you're a short-term time frame bull, you have a lot of reasons to be scared. Like the stock market's hanging on a cliff. It could really have a nasty sell-off on Friday. It could be bad. And Bitcoin would probably go down to, it could be as low as 17K tomorrow, which is the bottom of this channel. So in general terms, whether you're bullish or bearish, there's a lot of, so this down here would be about 17K. See that? So regardless of being a bull or a bear or long or short right now, there is reason to be fearful in the market. And there's only one type of position where you don't really need fear in the market, is if you're flat, if you're stable. So cash position, like holding cash, or stable, being stable is a good position. And right now, honestly, it's probably a pretty good choice until we see some follow through with the stock market. Yeah. And another way to say that is, no trade is often the best trade. The way the market's moving right now, it really might be. I'm trading moderately lightly, so I'm not going for any doubles or triples right now. I'm just trying to hit some singles. So I haven't stopped trading, but I am only going for singles very consciously in terms of my position size and when I'm profit taking, all that kind of stuff. How big of a move I'm looking for. I'm mostly going for singles. So I don't want to not practice what I preach, but I'm almost there. I'm only trying to hit singles right now, but also no position is a great position. Or if you're going on vacation and you're not available this weekend, this is a great time not to be pissing around with the charts, with the exception of a big sell-off on Friday. And that's what I got for Bitcoin. I kept it at about 20 minutes. All right, not bad. Okay, now let's look at Ethereum real quick. Ethereum, where I'm going to start off with is it's trying to have a reversal on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. And I know this isn't Ethereum price action right now, but I feel that in order to appropriately do TA on Ethereum versus the dollar, you really need to watch this. When I zoom out, you'll see why. Watch. You'll see why I think this is where you should start on Ethereum TA. Look, and this is why you hit the thumbs up, because I have the sexiest charts in crypto. It's a confirmed thing. I even have a plaque from YouTube. No, I'm kidding. But that's why you hit the thumbs up. And if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. This is time to do that. But just look at this. Is this orange? Both of these orange lines. So this is the point of control, like the master channel of all these channels, right? So these are origin lines of the chart, ETH versus Bitcoin. So this is not ETH versus the dollar, right? This is a very significant point, and it could reverse off of there. So let's zoom in, seeing all of price history with the years labeled and stuff, knowing that this is a very integral part. From a macro sense, this could be a higher low. And if you are going to make a higher low, what better place to do it than if you hit the first orange line, go above it, hit the second orange line. This is a great point to reverse. All right, so let's zoom into that and go to a much smaller time frame, like the 1 hour maybe. I guess. Yeah, 1 hour looks good. So again, the most recent deep lows was at this orange line. Come above it, come back to it. So it's been in a downtrend since, roughly the merge was happening. Well, actually, it's been losing versus Bitcoin since 2 weeks before the merge, because most of the anticipation and speculation happened, a couple months prior. So since 2 weeks before the merge, Ethereum has been underperforming Bitcoin. So each time Bitcoin goes down, ETH in general has gone down a little lower. Each time Bitcoin has a pump, ETH in general has a smaller pump for the last 14 days from this point to this point. This could be a reversal for it. All right. So, and what that would mean is, it just means that ETH could really start, if Bitcoin has a 1% green day, just a small green candle, ETH could potentially, as it's starting its, reversal, it could have 4% days. And if you're overall bearish and you're trying to, you utilize Bitcoin, S&P, in your with your guidance with trading Ethereum mostly, because I really love a trading Ethereum, especially now that the merge or pre the merge speculation and now post. Ethereum's probably my favorite chart to trade on futures, but I'm still gonna let the speculation and all that stuff from the merge simmer down. I don't think it's quite predictable enough for me to want to be my favorite at this moment, but typically it is. Anyway, if you're an Ethereum fan, this chart is something to take a look at, because in terms of finessing trades, if you're using anything, I mean 5x, you could really better finesse your entries by understanding the implications of this chart. And this could be a reversal that goes, for 30 days. It does, and again, even if this goes up, that doesn't mean that Ethereum price goes up and you're bullish. Because if all of crypto is down, this chart can still inch up. That just means Ethereum goes down less. And every time that crypto has a correction to the upside, like a breather up, Ethereum's move up will be bigger than Bitcoin's, right? On the dead cat bounces. It's really important to look at this chart, because this could be a macro pivot, a pretty big pivot point that goes 60 days of influencing Ethereum price. All right, now per that, Ethereum's been pretty doggish recently, right? Well, I mean, you can see that. I mean, you can see that with this chart. All right, so let's go to Ethereum price and let me give you some key things to be staring at. So I'm going to start on the more macro sense. Again, these are. Let me get rid of. Okay, perfect. This is a macro sense. So this is all of Ethereum price right here. And I've highlighted the yellow because that is where price is now. Price is interacting with yellow. You see that? Okay. But in general terms, once you come from above, so if price is high and it goes down below origin lines, as opposed to coming from below, getting rejected and going lower, that's different. Getting rejected and going lower, you could still bust through with higher lows. But coming from above, going below origin lines, if you go below it once or twice and have used that as resistance, the rules are you have to hit the next one down. And I don't know if Ethereum has ever broken that rule. No, not even during Wyckoff. So Bitcoin only has broken that rule on the origin lines once, and that was right here, but Ethereum didn't. It did come down to hit that origin line right at the end of Wyckoff, right? Because it came from above and broke below this origin line, so it had to hit this one before it had permission to come back above. So actually, I don't know if here it did. Here it broke the rule. It did not hit this origin line right here. And it did go below and use it as resistance, and it wiggled its way out with a higher low. So yeah, there might have been once or twice where this, so Ethereum has broken at least once. I didn't see any other exceptions to the rule and all this. So even here, I mean, look, the first time it went below the same yellow line, it came down to hit here before it went above. I mean, look how precise this shit can be. I think that's actually to the dollar. One time I think I was doing a live stream and I said, I think that's to the dollar. And I think it was within like 70 cents or something. So let's go to the small time frames and just look. Does it look like it has permission to get back above this yellow line? No, it doesn't, because it needs to hit here. So how low is this? Well, it's in the 1120s. And if crypto can hold on for a little bit longer, till next week or something, I got to go to a larger chart time frame. If crypto can hold on till, hey, let's say like 20 days or so, you can hold on for 20 days, that's it doesn't increase it by much, right? So it's a $40 difference from like tanking now to doing it in 20 days. It's what I'm saying is Ethereum looks destined to hit 1100 something. It's so improbable that it doesn't hit it in September and or October that just concentrate on that. But it doesn't mean, in the meantime, if Ethereum pivots hard and Bitcoin continues, so if Bitcoin goes up versus the stock market and the stock market makes no aggressive lower lows and Ethereum versus Bitcoin continues going up, it's potentially on the table that you get a rejection from this point again. Because it hasn't had a sexy rejection. It only had a rejection way back here, which might be enough. But, if the stock market kind of creeps down and Bitcoin keeps outperforming it and Ethereum keeps outperforming Bitcoin, I mean, it could come up to 15 before it hits that line. And if it did hit around the low 15s, I would still say it's destined to hit 1165. I would still think that. So it wouldn't change my mind if it broke, if it turned into a 1 hour or 4 hour uptrend. Yeah, it would. It would require a 4-hour uptrend. So if you could start using this as support, okay, well then, yeah, you might not hit this for a while. Then it might be this might be a second exception potentially, but even if it comes all the way up here, I would still say it's destined to hit this. Am I making sense here? So that's a midterm / macro sense. But in the short term sense, using the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart, and just knowing this is in play alongside 1120, you do have a lot of there's a lot of area here for trading, right? And so let's take a look at if it's in a channel. I don't think I've established any channels with this. Channel micro, no, it's out of that one. I don't have anything established for recent price action. But if I could do something real fast, it looks like so I'm doing this on the I'll do this on the 1 hour chart. Yeah, here we go. All right, actually, you know what? I think I can give you something to guide you here. A better tool. Now that we got the midterm and the macro and the nuance of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, here is our specific color in the boxes tools that I'm getting ready to give you. I think Ethereum's in a descending micro channel in which it had a bull trap just like Bitcoin did. All right, that's why I had the top of the channel here. I think this was a bull trap. All right, now I'm going to draw my lines over this guy. And then I'll slam this down to the point of control. It's interacted kind of strangely with the point of control. What it did here was more normal. Usually you have, it just got rid of my. So when I scroll real hard on my mouse, it gets rid of that rotated rectangle, even if my chart is locked. It's so strange. So freaking weird why that happens. Yeah, it's been interacting a little strangely with this. All right, so if I will show you when this the channel starts, and this will help guide you whether you're going to have a breakout or a breakdown, right? So you know how some traders do like a wedge or like a pizza or whatever, like pancakes with syrup or something. I don't know what the hell shapes they come up with, or pattern traders come up with. So but it's a similar concept. If it breaks out of the shape, then you'll either get a break up or a break down. So this actually has 2 lines in between. Interesting. Huh, I wouldn't have. Usually micro channels don't have 2, but this one very clearly does. So this interesting. Huh. Actually, this is fucking helpful. I should have had this the whole time. And this will help you understand if 15.5 comes in play. And really, how long would it take? What would be the intersection? So if you get just a wick above this channel line, and hit that, how many days would that be? 3 days out. So it is in play. It can stay perfectly within the channel rules. Similar to on my Bitcoin segment of this live show, I said 2 to 3% above is still in the channel rules. Look, that's 2.8. So honestly, Ethereum could. But now you can see a little bit more visually why I would still think, even if this yellow line is hit in the low 1500s, 1525 or whatever, 15 and a quarter is hit, I would still think it's destined to hit this line because I think it would just stay in the channel and then end up hitting this next origin line down. Seeing that? So if you want to draw, honestly, if you're an Ethereum fan, honestly, it looks like Ethereum is ready to trade for me again. This does, outside of this bull trap, the anticipation of the merge, this is looking pretty, it's looking volatile and relatively predictable. I really like this channel. So where this channel starts right here is August, about August 5th. And I'm on the 1 hour chart to make this. All right, so where do I think Ethereum? Honestly, I don't know. So I don't want to make guesses on super short-term price action right now because I don't know if the stock market's going to sell off tomorrow or not. You know, on my video yesterday, I mentioned, you know, tanking now. I define now as from Wednesday to Saturday specifically, and in that, I said that if the stock market holds on Thursday, it could easily sell off Friday, but I don't know if it's going to happen. And even if it sells off just a little bit, it's not an aggressive one, crypto could still go up. Like the Bitcoin and crypto outperforming the stock market, it's going to require the stock market to have a strong sell-off for crypto not to do too badly. Right? So in general, I would say that Ethereum has actually honestly a pretty decent chance of getting above this point of control right here. I think it's got an okay chance. Or at least, so let me put a time frame on. From now till Tuesday of next week, so later in September. That's 4 or 5 days out, right? Over the next 4 or 5 days, I think Ethereum could play above this point of control rather easily. And again, you'll be able to anticipate that if the stock market does not have aggressive new local lows. All right. And again, I'm not going to put any pointers here. I just showed you where it could go and where I think it still is destined to go down to. But in how it ends up getting there, I'm going to have to wait to see what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow and Monday for the traditional finance market. I honestly can't make very good guesses. And again, during my Bitcoin portion, I was suggesting no trade is perhaps the best trade right now, / holding cash or holding stable is a position. And right now it might be among the best positions. It's in line with that. It's the markets are looking like a little wishy-washy to me, and I don't think it's a super compelling either way for the micro time frames. Midterm time frames, I think it's compelling it's going down. Longer time frames, I think, you know, I also think it's compelling that it's going to go down significantly from there. But short-term time frames, I can't really tell, right? And that's what we got for Ethereum. Hopefully that was helpful. All right, so I was only 5 minutes off. I wanted to finish Bitcoin and Ethereum before 6:30. It's 6:35. Not bad. I don't know if I have anybody on here who watched my when I was new at YouTube, right? And I didn't have any of these like this fancy thing over here or, these fancy moving around things on my screen. And my microphone cut in and out. You could barely hear me. But I would always say, okay, I'm going to make this one quick. And then 45 minutes later, I'm still on the video. So I think I accomplished my goal pretty well there. All right, here we go. So I'm going to start looking at some questions here. Yeah, I'll cover XRP, even though you're not a community member, but XRP's been hot. Man, I guess I can't believe it hit 48 cents, but I'm still surprised. XRP's tough to trade. It is a tough chart to read. Man. Whew. Yeah, I don't trade XRP. I'm trying to trade it on spot, but I'm not doing a very good job right now. My first two trades I did accumulate, but on this trade, if I bought back now from where I sold, I would have less XRP. That's not the worst thing, because I could just wait 15 days and go back down. I could buy it for less than where I sold, but right now, yeah, whew, it is difficult. And I already knew that before I started spot trading as well. XRP's chart is it's got a mind of its own. All right, outside of crypto. Hey man, hey Chris Crane, community member asking, how you doing today? Staying up late for you tonight. Okay, opinion on CHC. Missed this pumping lately, like Matic, also XRP. Yeah, I wanted chilies or cheese or whatever it's called. I have open orders for it. I wanted my orders to be hit, and there it goes. Actually, yes, fuck yes. Actually, yes, this is where I wanted it to go. Yeah, no, look, zoom out. This is where I intended it to go. I anticipated this. Yeah. Take a look at it like this. I don't know where this horizontal's coming. This must be like a weekly or a monthly horizontal, so I have it on the small term time frames for that reason. Because if price gets to this area, to this macro top, it has permission within channel rules to go up to 28.92 and then fall back in. So this is not financial advice, but where I'm entering some type of position, not a long, is in this area. And it's finally hitting it. So some of my orders are filled. Yeah, I think Chili's is acting fairly predictably. Really. With these lines. I mean, look how beautifully it follows these lines. I have no complaints right now, but I would say it potentially has how much more upside. Shit, that's 10%. Well, hopefully I'm trying this on low leverage. I can't remember. I've had those orders there for a while. But I already knew it was a 10% range. So maybe I'm trying to enter in two different areas. I don't know. I don't know how my order. I just know I have orders open for it, and it's roughly where I have this labeled. Yeah, I think it could go up to 28.92 and then probably fall back into the channel over time once the stock market wants to leg down and crypto's not racing up versus the stock market as much. All right. Yeah, Matic and XRP are pumping. Yeah, because the crypto in general is outperforming the stock market. I covered that in the Bitcoin portion. I'm not for sure why it's happening, but perhaps traditional finance is turning down the volume, literally like not hearing volume, but trade volume on how they're pissing with crypto, and retail's pushing it up, or maybe traditional finance is changing how they're playing with crypto versus the stock market, and they're using a different category of bots to move crypto price. I'm not for sure which one is accurate, but something is definitely changing, and or not changing, but it's been fairly steady actually for the last 34 days. But yeah, I really saw this coming. I don't know what else you want me to cover, but yeah, 28.92. You could get smoked if you're trying to short it before then. All right. Yeah, and I like this chart. This has pretty good volume too on where I trade it. I don't know anything about this coin, but it's fun to trade. It's volatile, it's fairly predictable, and it's got good liquidity. I mean, it's fun. I wouldn't, take on huge positions on this, but it is fun to trade. And predictability plus predictability plus volatility equals heavy profitability, and that really is a great mix. All right. Patrick, can you check out EWT? Is that the energy thing again? EWT. Energy Web Token. Okay. A good bear hold. So from an investor. So community member is asking, is EWT a good investment type of hold? I would prefer, as long as you are emotionally prepared for it to hit this trend line. So if you are emotionally prepared to DCA better, or more into it, and are emotionally prepared to say, okay, from current point, me holding this, I can expect it to go down 65%. If you are okay with that, then yeah, I think it could slow down on that trend line in this bear market, but I could still see it go down 65% more. And it's a matter of style on what your tolerance is or what your goals are or how you see yourself meeting so you did it from an investor, not a trading standpoint. It depends on what your goals are, but I think I just gave you the information to, what to expect, and you can apply that to what's the wheel spinning in your head on this. But yeah, it could easily go down 65% from where it's at. Am I guaranteeing it's going to hit that low? No, but I think it's very prone to. I certainly wouldn't stock up on it after this large move up. That's chasing green candles, man. No way. Yeah, 100% move. I'm not picking something up after it doubles. I'm going to wait for it to cool down. Even though it does look like it's trying to cool down and consolidate, it could take another freaking leg up. But that's trading. That's not investing. So over time, I still think it has a good chance of hitting that line. Even if it does take another leg up to this next box up, which would probably be another freaking 80% move. That's another 100% move. Fuck. It actually looks like it might want to. So from a trading perspective, I think this could be fun to trade because either you're going to get a nice breakdown or you're going to get a big break up. Whatever it's about ready to do is going to be a pretty nice move. I think this one looks good from a trading perspective, not necessarily right now an investor perspective. This one looks, yeah, whatever it's about ready to do, it's going to be a big move. I can't tell which way it's going to go, though. I would guess down because I have a bearish bias for good reason right now. However, I just spent like 15 minutes or 20 minutes covering Bitcoin explaining why that could easily be wrong. And the ingredients are starting to appear for a larger bull trap up to 22, 20. I mean, hell, it could be higher than that. The ingredients are beginning to materialize. All right. Yeah, that one looks fun. It could take another week or two to play out, but whew, it's gonna move pretty hard. After Bitcoin comes above the origin line and breaks through, how high can it go without touching the line below the one it broke? Oh, that's a really good question. Papa long balls. I don't think I'm gonna chuckle this time. I might smile as I say it, but all right. I don't actually know the answer. Let's go look. It shouldn't take long to look. Oh no, why did that? Oh, it got rid of my master origin line. Why did it do that? Because I was spinning the wheel on my freaking mouse too fast, and and I have this chart locked. I don't know what's happened. See, it's locked over here. Lock. And I don't think I can hit Control Z. Yeah, because it doesn't record the delete. Yeah, it didn't record it, so it won't put it back with undo. Jeez. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh well, it shouldn't take very long to put. All right, so how high can it go? I don't know. You would have to back test that, really. But I don't think it'll take very long. So, and that question could be really relevant to what we're dealing with right now. It could be extraordinarily relevant because that might be what a bull trap essentially contains. That looks about right. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, let's go back. One of the biggest pumps above one was in 2016 late 2015 when the bull market officially started. The second bull market when it went up to 20K, right? So the bull market started when freaking imagine this. I mean, imagine being in this bull run. Oh my God, wicked stupid, easy to make money. Like most altcoins during this run went up like 80,000%. I mean, some of them went up 250,000%. And so the biggest runs this time, like things like Telcoin and all that stuff, had 35,000%, but those were the oddballs, right? A lot of altcoins this time went up 6,000 to 8,000%. On the good bull runs. But yeah, just imagine being in Bitcoin in altcoins when Bitcoin was racing up to $300. Just you could have thrown money. Could have just had $10,000 and thrown it at anything, just like you had a chimpanzee do it, and you would have done so well, so well. All right, that went 70% above, but what did it do? It had to come back. That's probably an anomaly, though. I doubt there are many cases of it going 70% above an origin line before I had to touch it, but that's one case. So this one you don't count because this origin line had just been used as support. Yeah, it took a little dip below, but I'm not going to count that one. It's this one right here that counts. All right, so let's keep going forward. Wow, no, it's not an anomaly. That went up 95% before it came back down to use it as support. Look at that shit to the almost to the damn dollar. Check that crap out. Wow, is it to the dollar? No way. I don't think I ever noticed this one before. Oh. Almost to the dollar. Let's count that to the dollar. That counts, right? Okay. So that was 90%. And again, this is when Bitcoin's market cap was a lot lower. All right. This one I'm not going to count as much because it already interacted and respected this line a lot here. So this one's not necessarily racing up versus it. All right, so now in downtrends without respecting it. So this is going to be probably lower percentages. If you race above without using as support, how high can you get above it in a bear market? So from here to here, it went 34% above. Oh, here's a good one. 37. And here is another anomaly. It actually went like, this is probably like 200%. It went up 120% before it retouched this line. So it can, but that was at the beginning of like its own mini cycle. But then again, that could be what's happening next. Here, it never did. It only respected it on low time frames. Why? Because the bull market was beginning. So like a price was just aggressively up. It did respect this line only on small time frames, like the 1 hour and stuff, maybe even the 4 hour. But on the 2-day candles, it really just blew past it. Here it used it as support enough, so that's not really an example. And then there are no other examples. Okay, so let's see what that would mean here. If it started racing up, got, let's say, 30-something% above. Yeah, that's 28K, which that would be in line with this shit here. So it's technically still possible. Is that one of my top 5, most probable scenarios? No, but it's still historically in the cards. I mean, you're technically not, that would probably begin the bull market. If it went all the way up here, it probably uses that support, and this would be the low. The bottom would be in at 17.5 if that were to happen. Yeah, with an extremely high probability. Yeah, that would probably pull us out of the bear market if that were to happen. All right, cool. What other questions we got? That was a really good question, though, Papa Long Balls. A very, very good question. Do you think Mover and Trias can still make it when we get another bull market? Mover, yeah, because it's part of it's an integral part in the Polkadot ecosystem. But Trias doesn't have that luxury. So I think Mover has a much less risk of going away in this bear market. I'm trying to kill a fly with my. It's actually a really good method to kill them. But unless it lands on your hand. It doesn't burn you, but it'll burn all the hairs off. I mean, a lot of, yeah, because I mean, every bear market, the stock market has been up, and every dip in every bear market in crypto was associated with a V-shaped correction in the stock market that wasn't really that deep because Bitcoin was born during the recovery of the last deep recession in 08-09. And, if some altcoins, small projects died during those crypto bear markets, as the stock market had V-shape, it was completely up for 12 years, literally, outside of V-shaped corrections. But literally just straight up. 12 whole years. So Bitcoin and altcoins lived in economic prosperity. Could that change? Yeah, that puts small alts at a much greater risk of going away before next bull market. It does, because that prosperity, that 12 years of straight prosperity is officially confirmed ended. It's just a question of how deep and ugly does it get. So small alts are at much greater risk on a percentage chance basis than they were prior. But Mover is not a small micro cap. It's got the backing of Polkadot. I mean, it would take a really severe cleansing of most of crypto. I mean, Bitcoin going down to 6K, but that could be fueled by, war type of stuff, globally, which could happen. I mean, so, and, for Mover and Polkadot to go away, and just let the dust settle with, Bitcoin and, Ethereum and monetary coins or something. But in somewhere in the middle, more, less doomsday wise, this will probably be a deeper bear market because of the stock market. And that does increase the chance that any microcap, not just Trias, they can't survive the bear market. And I'm not speaking directly to Trias, just all microcaps. Anything under 50 million, or even 100 million. Well, yeah, under 50 million is in a bear market. All right. Okay, cool. Now let's look at XRP. Okay, I haven't analyzed XRP during a live show in a while, and it's been hot right now. So let's go take a look at what it's doing on my origin lines. It is over here breaking rules. And again, the origin line rules are mostly applicable historically to Ethereum and Bitcoin. So given that XRP moves weirdly, it's one of the hardest coins to trade out there. It did break an origin line rule. You went below this blue line, you used it as resistance, you did not hit this, and you're breaking above it. So the next target that easily could be its next target is somewhere up here. I mean, it could get in the mid 60s before it slows down. I would say that's my more bullish case. Is that my primary guess of where it goes before it has a deep correction? No, that's not my primary guess. But that number right there is definitely on the radar. Now let's take this origin line, type of play. It's not going to get there by let's see here. Let's give it a week. Yeah, so about 66 cents. So now let's go from this point and look left and see what type of horizontals are at this level and or below it that might make it more difficult to bust up to there. So let's start looking left here. Because if there's a nasty horizontal there, that's super resistance, it has the odd effect of actually attracting price to it to get rejected. As weird as that sounds. Now this motherfucking fly landed on my torch. I couldn't get it. All right, so it's almost like a fly landed on the fly swatter. Like, son of a bitch. So looking left here, let me actually just make a horizontal. I don't know. All right, here. Honestly, that is a big horizontal. That's massive. This is a very significant horizontal. Gosh, honestly, it has a pretty decent chance of getting there. All right, so let me look at some things, and I haven't looked at EMAs yet either. So the weekly 10 is probably in play, stuff like that. That could stop it before it gets there. But that big, wow, yeah, this is a pretty important. Man, it might be attracted towards there. It might go up all the way to 66. Shit. Honestly, I think it's got like a 30 to 40% chance of happening. That's definitely in my top 3 scenarios, actually. I don't think it's my primary top one, but it has to be in the top 3 for this move. Expansion of volatility. So you have another major horizontal right here from this wick high all the way up to that wick low. So I think that's where it's at now. So these aggressive wicks, whether it's down or up, so this one is an aggressive up wick, this one is an aggressive down wick. It makes a pretty strong horizontal. And guess what? That's exactly almost to the penny where it stopped. Like it is to the penny. Yes, that is to the penny. It's to the 100th of a penny. So seller stepped in at where that aggressive wick moving left, looking left is. So before I throw on EMAs, what you can say right now is there are a lot of XRP traders out there, and there are a large group of them who trade horizontals, and those are pivot points where buyers who are pushing price up into there, some of those buyers immediately turn into sellers because they expect it to come down and they want to rebuy it before it breaks above, right? So even buyers at this point instantly flip to sellers. So therefore, the vector of force of buy pressure and sell pressure, they can flip-flop pretty fast, right? But here's the thing. Before I throw in EMAs, if it can get back above there, sellers would then flip to buyers because that's the next major horizontal. That makes sense. So it's a tit for tat. It goes both ways. All right, now let's throw on the weekly 10 to see what's going on there. Yeah, so honestly, focusing on this line, exactly this wick high right there, that is pretty important. This is a huge, so 50 cents, psychological number, fucking A. Yeah. So this is a big pivot point for buyers and sellers. It could create an aggressive move up if it gets above there. And it would probably go up 16 cents straight. Yeah, that might give it the force to get all the way up there. All right, so now I'm going to throw in EMAs, and let's start finessing this just a little bit more. All right, the weekly 10. That can't be the weekly 10, is it? No fucking way. Is that the weekly 10? Holy cow. It is basing off of it. Huh. This could turn into a macro bullish move. Whoa. It could. Where's the weekly 21? Okay. All right, so I have something specific for you. So independent. So I would say keep that first structural analysis with horizontals in mind, but on an independent play, but it probably coincide as well. Independent yet, it's not dependent, but it's independent yet coexisting with what the idea I'm about to show you. So they'll go hand in hand, but they're not dependent upon each other. Takeoff price. If red, so that's the weekly 10 and the weekly 21. The 21 is yellow, the 10 is red. Typically, so sometimes you'll get fake outs where the red crosses just for a little bit, but still price goes up a lot during those I guess a failed squeeze play, a failed bullish cross. So you have a bullish cross here, almost gets it. Oh, so let's zoom into this one. This could be about what's ready to happen, and it could do this exactly as price. Look at how it fit in there like a damn Lego. Jeez. But this might be about what it's ready to happen. So I would say that if XRP is getting to 66 cents, the key to figure out, is this going to flip to a macro move, is if the 10, the red, can get above and stay above the yellow. And I think that if XRP were to get to 66 cents within the next 15 days, the red still will not have crossed the yellow. And it might look almost exactly like this. And it would be interesting to see it pull back from 66 cents and then land on this and see if it could get support. And if it starts going like this afterward, not even breaking these local highs at 66, the case of XRP leading crypto out of a bear market and separating from the stock market to some degree, that would be your first, hint that that's becoming more likely. Would it mean XRP is leading us out? No, not necessarily, but it would put a lot of merit to that thought process. And, if for example, that could all happen and it tags it, comes down from 66 cents, and for some reason there's a settlement with the SEC and it's labeled not a security, as it's finding this as support. And again, I don't know the time frame on that. That would have to happen before the new year. All right. So if you already know as an XRP fan that's not happening this calendar year, well, then what I'm saying is probably not valid. But if something like that were to happen, as it's hit 66 cents, came down, found support here, and then some settlement came out, then XRP would have a damn good chance of actually pulling crypto out of a bear market single-handedly. It really could have the power to do that. But a lot of things would have to happen. And that's exciting stuff to look at, but you'll be able to see it in the charts. It's just red and yellow. This is the bull cross. All right. This is when you know you're in a bull market, or when you have extremely increased chances of being in a bull market. Sometimes you'll get small fake out plays where red goes above yellow like this, and then you come back down. But yeah, so this is a second thing I would look out for. As it gets up here and it corrects from here, can it land on these two that will be together? That will be the key for the cool off. I'm making sense here. I really hope that was helpful for you. Okay. So W Car. I did not say Bitcoin would fall to 17K tomorrow. I mentioned that it looks like it's going to do it, and I started the video off. Bitcoin could be there by the time you watch it, but I was specific, I believe, 2 times in the video. Rewatch it. I say, let's define now as Wednesday through Saturday. So the most probable case that I gave out was between Wednesday and Saturday. That was specifically my defined premise, and I was exceptionally clear, and I repeated it. I might start making signs, like if I have parameters like that, like, you know, here. But yeah, it did have a good chance. It had a really good chance. But Bitcoin is outperforming the stock market right now, and the stock market did not make aggressive lows, so it didn't go. And that's also, so not only did I define that, but what was more than half the video? Explaining what price would do if I'm wrong, which is the second most probable thing, right? I literally spent more than half the video showing you the opposite of my main guess, or just my second guess. I knew it was going to probably do one of those two. So the second most probable thing played out, and I described it exactly to you, and what? It hit the target exactly, the daily 10. And I almost drew it exactly how it moved. So you're welcome. Like, for real. You got to listen to the whole video. Just, you know, I could understand being in that position, like seeing, you know, like listening to somebody like me, and it's almost like you're lost in the charts, or not everything I say or what I'm pointing out. Like, what is this? What is an EMA? Like, what is this line? You know, first time tuning into my channel, what's an origin line? I get that. But you got to be really careful with how you take information from my video, from anybody's videos. Really, you really got to listen. Yeah, and I felt I was really careful with defining from Wednesday to Saturday, and I believe I defined it twice. Got to be careful, but I've been in there too. I've heard YouTubers say, oh, you know, like mention 14K or mention, you know, in the past 8K was a big number for a while, or 10K. And then I got stuck on that. But then when I rewatched the video, I was like, oh wait, they actually said it under a, you know, like you have a, there's more than one moving piece. Like I missed the main thing, right? But because I was so focused on the number, I've been there and I've done it too, right? However, I feel I was really careful about it, man. Or lady. All right. Really careful. Okay. And at the time, it was probable that it was going to happen quickly. At the time, but probabilities flip, right? Which is why I spent more than half the video describing what it would look like if that didn't happen. All right. So, Raduli, you don't have a... Okay, so I can't troubleshoot YouTube stuff. You're just... their support crew, they take like 3 days, but from my knowledge, I think they typically always get back to people. So if you're having that issue, I don't think there's anything on my back end pages that I see as a content creator. I don't think there's anything I can do. Like go in, find my, actually maybe I'll try, because you're not the first one who said that. Maybe I can like force give you an emblem, or maybe there is a list. So I guess I will do a little bit more due diligence. But as I understand now, it might be because you recently signed up and hasn't assigned it to you. I really don't know. But so did you have a question? Let me see if you had a question up higher, Raduli. Nope, I don't see anything. Okay, so here we go. Let me see other people's. Yo, Tim, why did you bail on the Discord Cryptillion for the second time? Bail on the Discord Cryptillion. 2 weeks. I'm not for sure what you mean. Cryptillion. I've done all the Cryptillion calls but one in the last 6 weeks. Right? I don't think I've missed 2. Yeah. I don't think I have. Oh, I rescheduled one with an alert. And so when I do that, I post that. So as a live chat's about ready to begin, if there's some type of change, you'd want to go to the Cryptillion live text or live chat. No. So under the live channel where we do the video stuff and voice, right above it, or no, it says questions, Cryptillion Live questions channel. And I post in there, hey, I need to move this back 1 hour, right? So I might have done that and you didn't see it. But I've only had to cancel one day in, that was last Thursday. Yeah. And like in 3 months, in 100 days. Yeah. So hopefully, but I apologize for it, but I got shit that pops up, man. I got 4 kids and stuff. So, but in those, I do tag, folks on the call if I need to move it back an hour or move it forward. You know, I typically don't move it forward, but or if I need to start 30 minutes later, whatever. So look in there, and that's within the category of the live calls, but it says Cryptillion Live questions. All right, let's see here. The live call from today. Why did I see? Maybe I just messed up. Oh, I went to the VIP room. You're right. I just clicked wrong. I went straight to the VIP. I'm surprised none of the VIPs said anything. Did I go? I did. I joined the wrong chat and nobody told me. You are right. I didn't bail. I was just being stupid. I clicked the long route. I can't believe none of them stopped me. Yeah, you're right. I was supposed to start in the Cryptillion room. Huh. I apologize. You know what? I'll make it up to you. How about that? I'll make it up. You're right. I did. And from your perspective, that is essentially bailing. Like, what the hell? It's on the schedule. I'll make it up to you. But thank you for pointing that out. And I was completely unaware that I did that. All right. And good thing I kept looking. But yeah, you are right. Here we go. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I went to the wrong live room and literally no one said anything. All right. So VIP is like, ha ha ha, all this time for ourselves with no Cryptillions asking questions. Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, you are correct. I apologize. Cody. All right. Here we go. All right, you're gonna focus on Cody. You're gonna focus on the weekly 10. It has a chance to get above it. It's honestly forming a nice little higher low structure. So what I would say is this: I would focus on probably the 1 to 4 hour charts on this one, so you can at least see these bottoms here. And I would create kind of a zone. So it's going to have to make a decision. Am I going to stay above this trend line? So which one's going to win? Is the pressure down from the weekly 10 going to win? Or is the pressure up from this trend line going to win? I don't know which one it'll be. All right. But it's such a small space here that this is the tool to be using right now. This one actually is pretty easy because it's a squeeze of some. It's like a trend line with it's not a real squeeze play, but you can interpret it as such. And you have a very defined range here, and it's not very big. So it's about ready to do something. 10% range here. And if it can break above this, then your next area here of interest is going to be the weekly 21. That aligns with the horizontal like pretty beautifully. It could break out pretty good, because by the time it breaks out and gets up here, this weekly 21 would be in this box, and that would be somewhere at about 12 cents. And then to the downside, just literally draw this trend line from these wick lows. You might have to make it as a rotated rectangle, because it is kind of a rangy type of deal. Or you just do one line to a best fit line through there. So if you like just one line, you just do kind of best fit line. And then keep an eye on this 10. I don't know which way it's going to break though, but it will break one way. And either way it goes, it could be pretty aggressive, right? And again, you already had one trick play above it. Like, it came to quickly tag this area and then came right back in it. So you could have failure patterns or swing below and then break up, or you could swing above, then break down. Whale games on Bitcoin could move this, but in general terms, these are the two. Really, just you only need to be looking at two things for midterm and long. For midterm price action. Short-term price action, you would probably want to use like the 4-hour 10 to get general direction. So right now, let me go to the 5-minute chart. So right now, the war is between the 4-hour 10 and the week. So the 4-hour 10 and the weekly 10, the same concept. Which one will win? Will the support of the 4-hour 10 beat out this? Well, maybe not. Maybe it'll come back down, go under the 4-hour 10, hit this, and then the next time it gets above the 4-hour 10, then it has the power to get above. But for very short-term time frames, using the 4-hour 10 EMA or you can use, I think the 15-minute 200 EMA is equivalent to that. So if I went to the 15-minute and overlaid the 200, this just gives you general direction. Am I micro time frame bullish or am I micro time frame bearish? Regardless of if the macro move is down or midterm move is down, just micro time frame. So yeah, they're about the same thing. So you can use the 15-minute 200 EMA and overlay that with the weekly 10 right now, right here, and that will show you the more like so that's essentially the middle zone. So if it breaks below the 15-minute 200 or the 4-hour 10, it's probably gonna hit this trend line again. So you'll have you have three zones here: middle zone on the 4-hour 10 or the 15-minute 200, pressure down from the weekly 10, trend line pressure up as support. So the interaction among those, so you can take off price, and you have a top, bottom, and a middle, and it is shrinking down. So yeah, those are the three tools I would use to have a good grip on Cody Price. But I don't want to make the guess on which way it's going to break. I don't know. It could be the case that stocks really keep going down, but non-aggressively, and crypto goes up, and that breaks up. As an altcoin, that could easily break up. If Bitcoin just floats sideways and Ethereum floats sideways / up, like this could break up aggressively. And with the stock market making new lows, but non-aggressively, it could. But I don't want to make the guess. It really could go either way. And again, during the stream, I've said, holding cash is a position, and it's probably a pretty good position right now, where no trade is the best trade. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I will make that. All right, I'll make it up to Cryptillions. I actually have to. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done that before. In the whole year and a half I've done Discord, I don't think I snubbed you. Right? Totally unaware. But I did. I'll make it up to you. All right, so I'm gonna end it there. Tuesday, 6 p.m. We'll see you back here 6 p.m. New York, or I believe that is 11 p.m. Berlin or